And you just rearrange it here?
Yeah, I'll just do it on the fly like I always do. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Welcome to the Toad Hall Morning Show. Better mute.
Oh, I gotta mute my volume.
Welcome to the show. It is March 12th, 312. For those of you who drink beer from the Chicagoland area.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that because that 312
area
Chicago's
code.
Original area code. Got a couple more now, though.
Yeah, there's a few more.
Yeah.
312. So welcome. We got some good topics today. We're talking about investing in records today. We're talking about listening parties. We're talking about birthdays. We're talking about all sorts of good topics today.
Yeah.
Of course, the RSD chart.
Oh, I don't even know where mine is. Mine's next door, I think.
I got it pulled up. The record store chart. So yeah, we got a fun one. Also, I'm going through a giant collection we got in. I previewed it on last week's show when Annette was off, but today we're going to do a little bit deeper dive on that.
Cool.
I've also got ultrasonically cleaned, super clean records we're going to show today on the show. Yeah, we got a lot of cool stuff coming.
I want to know what's in that black bag when we get to that point.
Yeah, we'll get to that point.
Something sitting in here in a little poly bag.
Yeah, it's the
I know.
For the live show.
I know what it is.
Listening party.
I know what it is now.
So yeah, guys, how was your week? How was your weekend? We got a lot of tasty treats. Did you do anything exciting over the weekend?
Well, speaking of that, my son's getting married next month.
Yep.
So we had to go get Paul a suit.
Oh, that is exciting.
Yeah.
But he looks snazzy.
He does with Men's Warehouse. Now, I don't quite understand why it took me 2.5 months to find a stinking dress, and it took us 30 minutes to buy him a whole suit, everything, pocket square, tie. He had the shoes. We had to get everything else.
That's because as men we're programmed to get things done very quickly.
Well, and you go to a store.
It's the way we do all this stuff.
It's a lot smaller, and to find stuff in store anymore is impossible. So me, I had to order my stuff online, and then you hope you get it, you hope it fits, blah blah blah. Yeah, we were in and out 45 minutes tops, maybe a half an hour. I saw the jacket. We saw 2 jackets. I'm like, I picked this one out. Then I found a couple different shirts, and it just meshed.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot easier because we have a lot less choices.
True.
So it's easier to stock all of the choices that we have and have them all in one place. It's kind of the same problem we have with retail as a whole right now. Like, how frustrated are you? You go to a physical store and they don't have what you're looking for. And I'm just going to buy it online. It's
the point that we're getting to pretty much anymore. Unless you're talking about basics or groceries or something like that. But if you need specialty anything, you have to order it online.
And that's why Toad Hall has to be so big.
And offer so many different variations.
We have to offer every genre, we offer it all. It would be really hard to do if you could only offer a segment of it.
Well, and this just goes right back to the buying online because, we're fortunate. I forgot to reject now. We're fortunate because we've got a couple different options. We've got Toad Hall online. Oops, I don't want to quite do that. We've got eBay. There's a few things on Amazon. So, yeah.
But it's shipping is becoming pretty cost prohibitive.
Yeah.
I mean, just in the last couple of years, I went from shipping a record for $3.33. That's almost $5 now. Just in like a couple of years. I mean, not even since I started the show. Since the last 18 months.
Sorry, guys. I forgot to take a couple of my jackets out. It's getting warm in here.
It's crazy. The shipping's gone up. I mean, what if you collect 45s? Shipping on a 45 is like $4.33. Not to mention the box. And if you listed it somewhere, if you got to pay fees.
Employees to
someone has to list
it. To list it.
I mean, the 45 is only worth $4.
Well,
most
I hope
of
we're
them.
Not putting $4 ones on.
No, but I mean,
online,
it really cramps down on. I guess it makes people more anxious to go back to stores because you can buy 12 different 45s and not pay any shipping instead of having to pay shipping on every individual one. Mm-hmm. You're saving half the money just buying it locally or picking it up or whatever, or making a trip to the record store.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. It's an interesting time that we're living in. So, but what do you got for me? We got birthdays. We got all sorts of fun stuff.
Well, I guess first thing up off the list is, Eric Carmen from the Raspberries died. I think it was yesterday. So
oh, man.
I just wanted to pick this up and show this. Raspberries.
That's a big one.
Raspberries Best featuring Eric Carmen.
Because he had solo records too, didn't he?
Yeah. And this is like $10, at least today. Let's just get into birthdays. So
yeah, we'll get right into birthdays. Don't forget these.
Oh, I already got one out here. I can't hold them all. A lot of these I didn't have, so we'll just run down a list. And I kind of did a little variation this week. So Ron Tutt, born in 1938, died 2021. He was a tour drummer for Elvis, Jerry Garcia, Neil Diamond.
Wow.
Yeah, he played quite a bit. El Giro, I couldn't find any of his stuff. I'm sure we have it somewhere. Jazz singer. He was born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Died in 2017. Liza Minnelli, she's 78 years old today.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And then James Taylor, 76 today, born in 1948. So we've got,
he's still touring.
Self-titled, yeah. Is this
his
his first one?
Someone was in the store and they were talking about going to see him. And
oh, really?
Just recently. So he's still on the road, I guess.
At 76 years old.
I mean, McCartney still plays stadiums and he's, what, 83 or something?
Yeah.
So, I
guess old musicians never quit. They just wait till they die, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
Bill Payne from Little Feat, born in 1949, keyboard player. Next up, we have Jack Green, a Scottish musician with T-Rex. He was born in 1951.
We still have the T-Rex Mo5. You haven't picked that up. You want to think about it.
And I swear all of the Iron Maiden birthdays have been in the last month. Steve Harris, bass player, born in 1956. Haven't we shown Iron Maiden?
Yeah, I think we've shown Iron Maiden like 4 weeks in a row.
Yeah. Interesting. Marlon Jackson from the Jackson 5, born in 1957. What do I have here? Just Jackson 5 album. Let's see. Some big ones. Now, this is May 14th. I think I'm going to do a little different format here. Quincy Jones will be 90 years old.
I mean March 14th.
Yeah, March 14th.
May 14th, you're getting a little ahead of yourself.
I am getting a little ahead of myself. So Quincy Jones will be 90 years old.
Oh, man, he's put the soul in.
Yeah.
He's the guy that puts the mojo in the movies if you watch Austin Powers.
Oh, well, I'll have to rewatch that. I mean, I'm watching...
He does all the music for
movies. Watching the really stupid Pink Panther movies. I picked up a Pink Panther box set the other day here. And
they're pretty bad.
Oh, I've seen them all, but Paul's never seen them. Yeah, they're one of those, it's like stupid funny.
Okay.
They're so stupid you have to laugh.
Okay.
Basically what it boils down to. Lightning Hopkins, March 15th. Obviously, he's no longer with us. March 16th, Flavor Flav. He'll be 64 years old. March 17th would have been Nat King Cole's birthday, born in 1919, died in 1965. And Billy Corgan's birthday.
There you go.
Is March 17th. Born in 1967.
Come on up. We got some Smashing Pumpkins. We got quite a few Smashing Pumpkins right now.
So that's kind of my deciding I wanted to do things a little bit different today.
I even got Melancholy in stock.
Wow.
This doesn't happen all the time.
National Canine Veterans Day.
Ooh.
That's a big one.
Retired dogs.
Yeah. Check your stapler, see if it's empty, because it is National Fill Your
Stapler Day.
I mean, it's a big one right there. I'm talking a big one. And National Coconut Tort Day.
Ooh, I'm about that.
I'm about that, too.
The coconut stuff.
Ken Day, so, like...
If your name's Ken, I don't know if we have any Kens in the show, but it's your day.
Well, this is for Barbie's boyfriend, Ken.
Oh.
Ken Day celebrates the life of Ken, Barbie's sweet, supportive, loyal boyfriend. National Earmuff Day. I'm not sure what that's all about, but... Hey, I'm doing tomorrow's. This is tomorrow's stuff, by the way. I must do it like today's.
It happens. Tomorrow's Ken Day.
National Girl Scout Day. There we go. That's what today is.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Alfred Hitchcock Day. So, yeah, that's my stuff for the show.
All right.
Now it's next turn. Turn it over to Nick.
Some of the big talk in the record world this week, for good reason, is we had a new all-time high price.
We didn't
personally sell it. But there was a sale of an original first press Blue Train Coltrane that sold on eBay this week for $12,600. An original Blue Note, widely regarded as the first press, because there is a little bit of smoke and mirrors when you get back in that era of Blue Note. This is not that, obviously.
No.
That record is extremely rare. But it brings up a very big talking point in the collectible world. We sell comics here. We sell magazines, posters, books. And I've often talked about how hard it is to find a used record that's worth $100, but how easy it is to find a comic book that's worth $100.
Right.
There are a lot more $100 comics than there are $100 records, which I believe stems from them being collectible for all these years. I mean,
is it because were fewer comics made than some of these album releases?
I think it's more focused. Whereas, you talk about jazz, there's an infinite number of jazz people, right? Well, there's only Superman, Batman. It's easier to determine what's the best because there's only 100 of them or 50 of them,
as opposed to.
I mean, you could go down the list. I mean, we could rattle off 50 jazz names like that, and that's just the top. I mean, there's layers and layers and layers and layers and layers of artists and what's going to be collectible, what's going to be hot. Well, investing in records, obviously it's not a super new thing, but I see vinyl is starting to catch up in the collectible world to where, look at posters, collectible posters, like
is that a big
Fillmore posters.
Oh yeah.
Original Fillmore posters. Those things are worth thousands of dollars. Comic books, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars for the right comic book.
Let's break that down there, because let's figure Fillmore posters, there weren't 100,000 made.
Correct.
So obviously
there weren't 100,000 probably Blue Train Coltrane first presses made either.
Oh, that's
true. That's only worth $12,600. Mm-hmm. But a Fillmore poster's worth $100,000. How about it's ridiculous that the most expensive record that we've ever sold was a 7-inch.
Yeah.
When LPs are 5 times more popular, 10 times more popular.
But
there's more of them.
Then again, there's more of them than there are on some of these collectible 45s.
I agree with that. The 45's rare, so I can buy that.
And I don't think people probably didn't hold on to 45s like maybe some do.
LPs. Possibly. Is it because it's rare? But it opens up a whole gate. It opens up a whole world of this conversation where, we're starting to see records get graded. Like comic books have been getting graded for decades. Video games are getting graded. VHS tapes are getting graded.
As in it with a certificate of authenticity?
No, hard cased and sealed, graded.
They're doing that with records now too?
Yes. There's 3 companies out there doing it. No one's really taken the top spot. It's still in its infancy. It's starting to happen. It's still going to be a little bit, but when that starts to happen, the market's going to change drastically. I mean, right now, a true first press, let's just say Dark Side of the Moon. Let's say it's worth $200, mint minus. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure what it's actually worth, but when it gets graded at a high grade and it goes to auction and it brings 5 times. When it goes from 200 to 1,000, everyone's going to see that, and it's going to change the market. People are going to adjust. Now that record's ungraded worth $500, and you're going to see this slide of first press, mint condition stuff go way up the scale. That stuff's going to come really collectible.
I think no diamond will ever get collectible.
I think always mint minus records, mint records, first presses, or pressings that sound the best. So maybe like the Dark Side of the Moon 30th Anniversary Edition. Like that should command more money than the MoFi. The MoFi from the 70s or early 80s doesn't sound as good as the 30th anniversary edition that came out 12, 15 years ago. It shouldn't. I mean, people collect MoFi though, and so it still has a lot. It's worth a lot of money, but the 30th should be worth more because it's worth more. Now the old one's older, and so there's a lot of pieces into the puzzle. By the way, guys, chime in the chat. What do you think about investing in records? And we're not talking about just buying them and listening to them. That's a whole nother demographic of people. Buying them to collect them. I collect all the MoFis. That's what I like to do. I enjoy that. And then there's buying records
for an investment.
As an investment, thinking that this is going to go up in price in 10 years.
Well, we did have, before the whole MoFi situation, there were people who were collecting them
as investments.
Absolutely. And then that bubble burst. And it's gone back. But there for a while, a couple of years maybe, bubble burst.
Because they lost faith.
Right.
They lost faith in the fact that they could buy it today and tomorrow it was worth double. And that's not true. That's not true investing either. You can't always expect to buy a stock and tomorrow it doubles.
Right.
That's not how the stock market works. That's not how car collecting works. You don't buy a brand new 2025 Mustang and pull it off the lot and tomorrow it's worth more money. That's not how it works. It takes time. Half of those cars have to be wrecked for the other half to have any value. And you have the nicest example that it has some significant value.
The Beatles, factory sealed domestic. Wow.
And I think a lot of people buy to listen and not collect or to invest. I think there are three very strong demographics. You collect because you enjoy an artist. I'm the biggest Taylor Swift fan. I'm going to try to get all of her releases. I'm collecting those. I'm buying them to listen to them. I like this music. Well, I didn't care for that record.
Right.
So I'm not going to buy it. Or I'm buying this because it's sealed and I got it for $100. I think in 10 years it's going to be worth $1,000. So
in Taco Sale has a very good point. The majority of us do buy to listen and not collect.
I would think
say 90, probably 95-ish. I don't know. I don't have a percent, but I think that obviously the majority of us are the buyers and the listeners. And if you happen to come across one that's like, wow, I bought one a couple of years ago at Record Store Day and didn't know it was going to expand to what it did, and turned around and resold it for $120 about a month ago, and that was the Larry Lovestein 10-inch that came out. I didn't expect that to do that.
Yeah. And Tom has a really good point. It comes down to those old jazz collectors will continue to be sought after in the future if the old collectors die off.
Yeah, because they're not going to live forever. Exactly.
So however, jazz is quite timeless. I mean, when you think about these jazz records, technically they've already made it through a generation, right? Mm-hmm. Everyone who bought these records originally, they're already dead. So the music has already gone from the original buyers to the next generation, to Generation X, to maybe boomers, to X, to millennials. I have a millennial collector who has bought every Tone Poet. He has not opened a single one. He's in his early 30s. He's buying every single one. And, I mean, I think he's got a good point.
He bought my Larry Lovestein.
These Tone Poets, specifically this Blue Train that I'm holding on to, is regarded as the best sounding copy of this record you can get.
This press.
The Tone Poet Coltrane Blue Train press is regarded as the best sounding version. Doesn't mean it's the most collectible version, right? Like there's some that go for $12,000. But if you buy this for $40 in 10 years when they're out of print,
it might be worth a little something.
It might be worth more money. I mean, when you're seeing that this title is very collectible. So it's opening up a whole nother avenue, which I think is good for the market. I think if people aren't investing in something, they think that it's not worthy of investing in. Like if it's a fad, people wouldn't invest long term for something. Right?
Like pet rocks. I know y'all are probably too young to remember those, but they were around in my time.
I think I've seen a pet rock. In the little wooden box.
They were in a little box.
Little box, yeah.
Somebody made a little bit of money off of that back then.
So yeah, it brings up we had a lot of people investing, buying up extra MoFis, like you said before, the MoFi bubble bust. But guess what? I've had some of those get traded in the last week. Someone traded in the little feet that's not that old. The Super Tramp Breakfast in America. It sold for $150.
Wow.
So I think the whole market got slighted when they realized they couldn't buy it and flip it in a day or a week or a month.
But it's going to have to be for the most part, the majority, if it's going to happen, it's going to be a long-term investment because it's not going to be an overnight. It's not even going to be a year. It may be 5, 10 years, 20 years down the road.
And if you're collecting records as a hobby and yourself, you're collecting what you want, a lot of people buy that stuff, invest in it, and then sell it to buy more records that they do want. Like I have 2 UHQR Aqua Lungs.
So do I.
I haven't opened them. I'm going to sell one, and guess what I'm going to do with that money? I'm going to go buy more records. So it doesn't always have to be.
And it's opened and it's played. It's the best freaking UHQR one step whatever that I've ever heard in my life.
Aqua Lung?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
So, we're all kind of guilty of it in our own way, but I think it's going to start to become a thing when the big money comes in, and I think that the big money is people that are looking for alternate investments that they don't know. Like maybe they were putting their money in their stock portfolio. And if the market, this always happens when the market goes down, by the way. The market's going up right now, so it's a different story. When the market softens, eventually it will, people look for alternate investments. Collectible cars, comic books, gold, probably Bitcoin this time around.
Not me.
They look for alternate investments. And I think one thing in that alternate investment category next round is going to be records. Okay. And you're going to see certain things go up. First presses, mint condition stuff, key titles. So your Pink Floyds, your Zeppelins, your...
I'm going to collect all the Mitch Miller. I think that's really going to pop back.
Too much of it. Too much of it.
I'm being sarcastic.
Jazz, of course.
Blues.
But blues records are really cheap. Punk records are somewhat cheap. And I also think that this is going to spread even further into, for the last 10 years, we've been getting first presses of records have been on colored vinyl. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. So, let's say the first press of, I don't know what record just recently came out. Noah Kahan. First press of Noah Kahan. It's going to be huge. The first presses were on clear, and then eventually, and it's 3 months later, they're on black forever. Well, and the people that are listening to this are young right now. And in 10 years, when they have a little more money, they want the first press on clear. This is going to be worth more money. So you got to think of what's going to be hot in 10 years, what's going to have the staying power. So, a big conversation. I mean, that opens up a whole lot of doors.
I just keep buying weird CDs.
I mean, there's another thing. CDs have been...
CD prices have
gone up.
Probably in the last 2 years, since I've really started working on CDs.
Have they doubled? You think they've doubled?
I don't think they've quite doubled. What we had it for a long time at a $3 CD is now between $4 or $5. So it has gone up. Some of them have doubled, but the majority are still pretty reasonable. But you do every once in a while get that Prodigy one we just got in. Mm-hmm. What did I list that for? Oh, it was double digits. I can't remember. I mean, it was up over 50. I think it was between 50 and 100 somewhere, but I can't remember. That was opened, not sealed.
Tom's got a good question. Will there be a new physical format after CD, or has it hit that end? I think we have all the formats we're going to get.
For physical.
I mean, if you count SACD or like the super audio discs and that kind of thing, I think there's not going to be any invention of a new physical format that takes over. I think that time has passed. I think that the digital realm has killed the new stuff off, and people want physical. I think they've kind of tried every other physical. They've tried a flash drive. They tried
the 3-inch. Remember the 3-inch CDs?
Yeah, they've tried. I mean, CDs, I think that people buy into formats that they can widely get a lot of music. So they like vinyl because they can get their new artists, they can get their old artists. It's timeless, no subscription, and kind of the same thing with CDs. They're plentiful. You can get them. You can get new stuff. You can get old stuff. Mm-hmm. So I think the CD and the vinyl are going to dominate for the foreseeable future. Cassette tapes is a tough one because 80s, majority of the cassette tapes are from the late 70s all the way through the 80s into the early 90s. What happens when that demographic is too old? Once you get into the 2000s, there aren't really enough cassettes. There aren't enough titles.
But let's look at the RSD list and see how many of the titles are actually coming out on cassette. Which there's only, I mean, there's not that many, maybe a handful, but they are out there.
They're out there. So that's the cassettes.
If you look at the RSD list, it's LPs, CDs, and cassettes. Mm-hmm. And I appreciate the offer, but, you know, I want you to hold on to those Mitch Miller records, just in case they do become valuable. Said he'd send me a whole crate.
Yeah, we got probably at least a whole crate around here. Steven has a good question. He says, you collect for sound quality as well as original packaging. Tone Poets, Contemporary, Half-Speed Masters, Atlantic 75ths. Do you have a chance of increasing value? Absolutely.
Anything has a chance to increase in value, depending on supply and demand.
I think that this category in particular has, what you're collecting, I think, has a higher chance of going up in value. Specifically, I think the Atlantic 75ths 2LP45 cuts. I
haven't bought any of those yet. We have a handful here.
They're essentially like a MoFi. They're $60. They're 2LP. They're 45. In a lot of cases, they're going to be the best sounding version of that record. I think they're not being talked about very much right now. I mean,
they're so new to the market too.
They are new to the market, so I understand that. But you're talking about a product that is swinging way above its price value. Mm-hmm. I mean, a 2LP 45 cut, they start at 61, but the one steps are 100 and a quarter or 150 for the UHQRs. These are pretty close for half the price. Mm-hmm. So when they quit, when they go out of production, I think people are going to be looking for them.
I think probably the only difference between like the one steps and these Atlantic 75s are they've just haven't been able to cut out those steps to make it a one step. And probably everything else is.
I'm not sure about the vinyl. I'm not sure about the vinyl formulation on the 75th. Okay. But you're right. I think you're right on track. I think they're very close.
And they sound fantastic. I'm going to have to pick one up just because I haven't listened to any of them yet.
The people who collect Matchbox 20, all those 90 titles, they don't even know they exist. There's a whole demographic of people that don't even know what 45 RPM records are. They don't know what Analog Productions is. They don't know what Straight from Analog is. They don't know because they aren't in that category yet. Those titles, when those collectors start to get into vinyl and they get a nice turntable and they get a nice phono stage, high-end speakers, and they're like, oh, wow. Well, I'm not really into jazz. I mean, I'll buy a few jazz records, but I'm into rock. Oh, my God, they did this Matchbox 20 record that I'm in love with. Oh, crap, I can't find it, and they're worth $120 now. They're going to buy that for $120. So I think you're in the right category. And I think a lot of people are going to mistake like the Mac Miller that you purchased.
Well, Larry loves Mac Miller, yeah.
I think there's going to be like the Taylor Swifts. You know, they did those Taylor Swifts for Record Store Day 8 years ago. Those things are worth a fortune now.
Well, so 3 years ago they had the 45.
No, I mean the 1989. Those are like 8 years ago when they first did them. Anyway, I think in addition to the Tone Poets in the 75ths, I think there's going to be the stuff that surprises you from the generation. The Noah Kahns. I think even stuff from the first press of the emo era. I think stuff from the punk era. So every era is going to have its highlights, or even every group's. Like I was into the emo stuff, but my girlfriend, she was into like the 2000s rock stuff, the Korns and the Disturbs and the Power Man 5000, and that stuff has its own grails. Mm-hmm. And I think that stuff the price is really. It may feel like it's high, like $60 is a lot for a record. I'm gonna tell you, $60 is nothing for a comic book. I mean, people don't even blink and they'll drop that on a comic book.
You're right.
$100, I've been looking for this, no problem. They just drop it, no problem. $60 on a record, people are really like, man, maybe, and I think that the perception is going to change when investing happens, when the market's changing. And
let's talk about that little black bag now.
Okay.
Let's talk about
So enough about investing. But we're talking about, next up, March 14th.
Oh, that's like in 2 days.
This Thursday, there are Black Crowes listening parties. See, here's a prime example of another artist. The Black Crow, Shake Your Moneymaker First Press. Probably a good record to invest in, if you can find one. But we're doing listening parties, and they're actually all over town. All over the country.
Yeah. There was a list, I think, on Record Store.
Yeah, you can find the list.
Website. There's a whole list of where
they're going to be.
The parties are, and I can't remember
because
where
they are voluntary, and these listening parties, they are limited to certain number of stores. So basically, the labels say, okay, we're going to allow 60 stores to do a party because we're not going to make a million of these things.
Let's see if I can drop this.
So they're giving us guitar picks. Everybody who comes this, I think it's with purchase with these. One will draw one lucky winner to win the notebook, and when you win the notebook, you also get a chance to win $500 cash and 2 tickets to see a Black Crow show. They're giving us wristbands as well. Pretty cool. Little promo wristbands. And they got the CD to play in the store. For the got it sealed. I haven't cracked it open.
That's because we can't crack it open until the 14th.
They don't want us to crack it open. I haven't honored that.
This is just almost like a blank journal type book. So
check that out. If I know a lot of you aren't local, but I'm sure there's a local store that's doing. I just dropped
the link I just dropped should be a list of. It's the Record Store Day. It's on Record Store Day's website. It's called the Global List, and it goes by state. Yep. There's 4 pages there. So I mean, I was surprised at how many there.
International
in Green Bay. There's 2 in Green Bay. I didn't realize there were 2. No, this is just U.S. So I don't know if this is just a U.S. They're just saying across the country as in U.S. So I don't know if there's any international listening parties or not.
Record Crate also said, don't forget the OJCs. Both current and the original OJCs sound fantastic. Yes, I agree. The new OJC series is phenomenal. Even the classic stuff. The classic stuff goes way too cheap. You can get old OJC records for like $15. I mean, how are those not worth more? I don't know. Sean said, when I got into collecting records like 15 years ago, it wasn't just because I wanted these to be collector's items, but to listen to a great format. It is crazy what some things are considered worth now. Yes, but I do think that it is healthy for a hobby. So, keep an open mind. It's good to see people investing in vinyl. Just remember that you can have investment grade stuff, you can have collectible stuff, you can have listenable stuff, all in the same pool. Mm-hmm. The more money that goes into records, the more we all win. And I was preaching this probably 10 years ago because people were afraid of the jazz reissues killing the value on the old ones. And I was like, no, the more they sell the new stuff, the more titles we're going to get.
Well, and not only that, but I think if these reissues come out, it can pull different people into the genre.
Absolutely.
It's like, oh, what's this? And then once you get in that rabbit hole, then it's just can become a circle.
When you're new to collecting, you're not going to go and buy, if there were no new jazz reissues, you're going to go spend $250 on an original when you don't even know if you like it. Mm-hmm. Here, you can buy this for $40, get an amazing experience, and you're going to start digging. You're going to go to the next title, and the next title, the next title. Pretty soon, they're a collector. Mm-hmm. They just boosted the future market. They just, so there's a lot of things that right now, the seeds are being planted for collectibles of the future and investing in the future and all of that good stuff. Listening parties. These listening parties have been going on for just about a year now. They're doing, we pick and choose which ones we do. We don't, they're not forced upon us. Record Store Day says, here are the listening parties that are coming. Apply for them. And then there's only so many spots that are available.
Oh, okay.
So Black Crowes, perfect for my store. We're a classic rock town. It's a 90s title. It hits all my demographics. But there's a Musgraves one that I didn't do. I wasn't sure I would be able to pull a huge Casey Musgraves fan. There's a Pearl Jam one coming up. However, the record comes out the day before Record Store Day. And the party is a week before. And I was like, you know what? There's just too much going on. So I didn't do the Pearl Jam one, although I think it's going to be a big deal. But again, this generation, so the Casey Musgraves buyers, the young buyers, the 18s, the 17s, the 14-year-olds, even the 20-year-olds, they never had a midnight release party. They never had, let's go to the record store on release day, get in line and get it. Mm-hmm. They are recreating that right now with these listening parties. And those kids are going to carry those memories of doing that, just like we all have, millennials, Gen Xers, boomers. Their memory is going to continue on, and they're going to always remember, oh, I remember waiting at night for the new Noah Khan, and we had a listening party, and I got a wristband, and I got all this fun stuff.
Well, I never went to listening parties, but I remember standing in lines for concert tickets.
It's kind of a similar thing, right?
Hours and hours.
Do you remember who you went and saw? For who you waited in tickets for?
No.
Do you remember any of those?
No. Could have been one of, I don't know.
Yeah.
And you used to have to go to like big department stores. You probably don't remember this, but Bergner's used to have.
I went to
Bergner's, which had been a town store for ages. You know, you would go to the Ticketmaster booth there.
Yep.
You didn't have it online. You might have had a phone number for that.
I did that a few times. I think Macy's at the mall had it.
I don't remember Macy's ever have it. Bergner's did have it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember going to Bergner's a few times and buying Ticketmaster tickets at the counter. But yeah, so I think that a lot of things that are happening in the vinyl and in the indie record store space is planting seeds for the next generation, which we didn't have the opportunity to really do 10 years ago because those collectors weren't in our stores 10 years ago.
Right. And
now we're prolonging the hobby by getting younger and fostering it. So I think it's a really good thing. I think a lot of the things make sense. A lot of what's happening is making sense. Let's get into...
my son watch this video so he knows why I'm buying things that I'm buying.
Let's get to the chart. Let's get to the chart. Speaking of number one... Show. I know, this is a long show. I had a lot to talk about today. Number one on the chart, Noah Khan.
Not
once
a surprise.
Again. There is an indie exclusive version coming out soon. We got that coming. Number two on the chart, Slayer Rain in Blood.
Really?
But it is the red clear splatter
is that the version that's charting?
This is it. This is the number two. This is my last one in my hand. The rest they're back ordered. I try to get more. I can't get them. Of course, Taylor's all over the chart. She got a number 5. But Faye Webster at number 3 and Mannequin Pussy at number 4. Titles that I did not bring in. A little too niche for me. I might bring one in. Beach Boys, Pet Sounds, Coke Bottle Clear at 9. That's done very well for me. Maisie Star at 10.
Which we've had on back order. We've had them on order for a couple of months, I think.
That record would probably be up there with Noah Khan if I could get them. Idols, hanging on at number 12, which is, I like the top part of the chart because things move faster. Mm-hmm. Once you get to the middle part of the chart, it's like the same titles. It's like SZA, Arctic Monkeys, Olivia Rodrigo, Dark Side of the Moon, Strokes, Boy Genius, Green Day Saviors hanging on at 30, Taylor Ran, Lana Del Rey. So a lot of the same, Nirvana Nevermind is at 40, Kendrick Lamar.
Was it probably listed for
Yeah, these have been on there
years.
Forever. What surprised me is I didn't see this MGMT on the chart this week. Oh, there it is. It's number 24. I was going to say, that was... that should be up there because that's been doing really well, too. The Mick Mars record isn't on the chart this week. Mm-mm. It must have dropped off really fast. So, interesting to see what titles make it and what hang around and what don't. So... All right, so we showed that big collection last week. Well, I kind of teased it. This week we're going to dive a little bit deeper into it. So I'm going to share some with Annette here because. So these are all available. Most of these are out of print. Some of them are gone.
Oh,
whatever.
VSQ. Is that a record store day version?
No, it's not.
Oh,
Vitamin String Corp Protect does Taylor Swift. I think
Oh, it's already out.
It's already out. Let me see if. We'll have to see if we actually just jump on our distributor, see if they have
going
them.
right now.
We're going to check right now to see if we can get that while I show off a few records. Ain't Too Proud. Life and Times of the Temptation. $28. That's a cast recording, but it's only $28. How about some Freddie Mercury? Now, they did these Freddie Mercury.
They are all on back order.
Want to just order some up?
We'll put. Oh, this is a pre-order. Let's do the pre-order.
Yeah, do the pre-order. Do like 8 of them.
8.
Yeah. The regular one on pink is gone, but there's an indie exclusive on blue.
Yeah, it's kind of
blue coming.
Cloudy blue.
We just ordered them.
Let me see what it says. March 5th or May 5th. Getting my Marches and May screwed up today.
Yeah, May 3rd that's coming, so we'll have them.
Let's see. Yeah, May 3rd.
They did a series they reissued all Freddie Mercury's solo records a couple years back. I thought they were going to be in print for a long time, and they haven't been. And I just got this one traded in. They're only $21. So if you're really into Queen or you like his solo stuff, which is very different from
Can we pose? We can pose.
We can pose.
I just ordered 8 of those that will the VSQ Performs Taylor Swift that are supposed to be released May 3rd. Which is going to be interesting because she's got not a record store day release. She's got a release coming out April 19th.
Yeah. So she's keeping it going.
We'll put you down on the list for that, and hopefully they come in when they're supposed to come in. So yeah, Derek.
Also, the Sinatras are another interesting thing. So they did this Sinatra 100, and I don't know if you guys remember that Mobile Fidelity did some Sinatra titles.
I think I've got a couple of those 100s at home, but I'm not sure.
I'm sure you guys probably remember Mobile Fidelity did some Sinatra titles. They didn't do them all. They did some of them. And the family said, hey, we're going to stop. We're going to reissue the 100-year stuff. And the thought was that Mobile Fi was going to get the catalog back, and it never happened. The thought was that Mobile Fi was going to continue on with their Mobile Fi Sinatra titles after the 100
But it's not 100 years yet.
This is a 100-year. It's probably from when he was born.
Oh, that could be. Okay.
So yeah, I've got some of the, and these are out of print too. Sinatra Volume 2. It's only $24.
And here's a craft recording. Merle Haggard. I Am What I Am. It says, wow, 60-second studio album. It's $26 on craft recordings. That's crazy. Wow.
Merle Haggard records, very collectible. You can't get them. I mean, they're always sold out around here. Sinatra Watertown. I think this one might actually be in print still. And then here's the 60th anniversary of the Sings for the Only.
Only the Lonely. That's a good record. I love
$36. I think it is a 2 LP. Again, I'm not sure which versions of these are the best. I would bet that these are probably better than the originals.
Tom Fogerty, Excalibur, another one on Craft Recordings. $20.
Craft makes phenomenal records.
They do.
They make great records.
What do I do? The Rolling Stones, A Bigger Bang, live on Copacabana Beach. It's a 3 LP. $66.
I think they're colored.
Doesn't
I think it's tricolor, like red, green, yellow or something.
Oh, it does say multicolored vinyl.
Yeah, each record's a different color. Decemberist, I'll Be Your Girl, which I haven't had this record. 2018. So I don't know if it's out of print but it is an indie exclusive for $26. That's the kind of stuff that becomes collectible. You know, it's already, how many years old? It's already 7 years old.
Billie Holiday. $20 for this one. One LP on that.
Live from the Troubadour, Glenn Campbell on Surf Dog Records and Big Machine Records, which is Taylor's first record label. $26, 2 LP.
This is interesting. Anybody listen to Sirius Radio? Little Steven. So this is Little Steven and the Interstellar Jazz Renegades. Lilyhammer, the score, Volume 2. I don't know if any of you ever watched Lilyhammer, the show. It's just weird. It's on Netflix. It's based in one of the Scandinavian countries, but plays one of the leads in it. So this is interesting. $22 for 2 LPs.
I've never had this record. This is a Blue Note 10-inch Best from the West. Modern sounds from California. I've never had this. We got $22. Here, I'll give you a few more here. Yeah. I'll give you a bunch of jazz because you'll know that stuff.
DeMiola, McLaughlin, and DeLucia. Is it DeLucia? I don't know.
This is Saturday night in San Francisco, not to be confused with Friday night.
No, this is Friday night.
This is Saturday.
Oh, this is Saturday. They've confused me because they've got Friday right up here.
The other one is black. This one is white.
This is live from 1980. It's on Impex Records.
Another audiophile label that gets not enough.
This is 1 LP. I'm going to guess that this is probably 45 cut. I don't know for sure, though, but this one's $40. It's got 4 or 5 on the end. The record number has a 4 or 5 on the end, so I'm probably going to say this is probably
probably 45 RPM. I got Benny Carter Jazz Giant. I think this is in print, craft recordings, but it's a good one. $31.
And Chet Baker plays the best of Lerner and Lowe. $30 on on craft recordings as well.
Here's a blue note that I don't see very often. Soundtrack to Human Motion by Jason Moran.
What year was this?
$25. It's not expensive. It's from 2015.
I was going to say it.
So probably way out of print. Something that you're not going to see very often.
The Lyrical Trumpet of Chet Baker at $30. Also in craft recording.
Got some Tone Poets here. McCoy Tyner, Time for Tyner. Always, right now they're always $40, so that's good.
Ella at the Shrine, $28 is a great album.
Dexter Gordon, Sophisticated Giant, $24. There's another record that I
don't remember. No,
it's by We Are Vinyl, and it has a promo for the book available at booksellers.
Oh wow!
So I'm not sure when that came out, but let's see if there's a year on this. 2018. So yeah, probably also out of print.
Evan, Some Other Time. This is the Lost Session from the Black Forest with Eddie Gomez and Jack DeJohnette.
Record Store Day, I think.
It's a Record Store Day. This is number 428. I'm not sure. Let's see if I can. Out of 6,000, and this is $70. I think we have this.
Acoustic Sounds Verve on Demand series. Coltrane Alive, The Village Vanguard, only $40. It is truly a golden time for collecting records. A golden age. John Coltrane Crescent, $40. Another Verve on Demand series. Here, I'll give you a few of these.
I don't know if they're still doing that Verve on Demand. Apparently it was a program that Verve did, I don't remember how long ago, where you could get a hold of Verve and offer suggestions of which albums they would maybe press next.
Yep. I think they still do.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We've got a pre-owned Born to Be Blue Grand Green.
It's only $32.
Tone Poet for $32.
Soundgarden, live from the Artist's Den. I don't know why this box set hasn't sold like crazy, because Soundgarden always does super well. I think it's the cover. I literally think it's the cover of this record, the reason why it hasn't sold out. $91 original MSRP. It is a 4 LP box. You know, they're never going to reissue this. They made this. They are done with it. So if you're into Soundgarden or you're into maybe modern collectibles, you may want to pick one of these up in the future. Soundgarden. I mean,
let's get what's this? Tony Williams, Foreign Intrigue, and it's on Blue Note 80. It's $20.
Country Joe and the Fish box. So it's 4 versions, 4 records. 2 of them are Feel I'm Fixing to Die. It's only $100. Craft recordings. It's pretty good. $100 for 4 LPs in a craft box seems pretty reasonable. I guess we got a few more left, and then I got the stuff, the ultrasonically clean stuff, and then we'll let you guys go.
So this obviously is not the ultrasonically cleaned yet, but this is 9 Inch Nails Deviations 1.
Deluxe. This is the deluxe edition, which 9 Inch Nails is always very collectible. We got a sealed, we got one left.
$80. I'm not sure how many LPs are in there. There's at least 2, maybe 3. I'm not seeing.
Pretty big. It looks like it's a gatefold. It's
original
chunky.
Release was December of 2016. Probably 2 LPs on this, I would imagine.
Killer's Day and Age. Look at that cool packaging on that. 10th anniversary with extra bonus tracks. First time double LP, 180 gram, 45 RPM. Only $40.
Holy cow.
I mean, you wouldn't think twice about buying a tone port for $40. You get this deluxe, best version of this record you can get for $40. There's still a lot of great deals out there in vinyl world.
This is The Who, live at the Isle of Wight, Festival 1970, $50. I have... No, he didn't want that. So this is $50, and it is 3 LPs.
Elvis Costello Armed Forces box set. It is 9 pieces of vinyl, 7 custom notebooks, 23 never released live recordings, poster, postcards, $185. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think it's 6 full LPs. And there's 3 7-inch in here, and then all the extra bonus stuff. So, yeah, pretty cool box set. I'll treat you. So this one already is a collectible. This is the Sleep live at Third Man Records. It was only available as a vault package, but they're I got $120 on this thing. It is brand new, sealed, comes with the patch and the insert, so it is complete. But yeah. If you're into Sleep, I got a piece of tape here, so I want to keep the patch and the insert with the record. But mint condition, perfect set, a prime example of a collectible there.
Yeah, I'll put another piece there so it doesn't keep flopping all over. This is the Chuck Berry Super Deluxe, the Great 28 box set, $125.
How many LPs we got on that thing?
4 plus a bonus EP. Called Berry Christmas, which is the first time on vinyl.
And I got the Brian...
$125.
Brian May Back to the Light box. 180 gram white vinyl, original CD, art print, book, all those. Only $90. So if you're a big Queen fan, I've never seen that piece. I never carried it. It just got traded in. And speaking of collectibles and stuff, since we're talking about the best versions of stuff you can get, this stuff happens every day. These collectibles are made every day. Dire Straits, Brothers in Arms. But we've had this record in our store for how long? 8 years? This record has been available from 05. They finally just announced that they're putting it on print. They're done with it. So whatever remaining stock is going to sell off, and that's going to be it for Brothers in Arms on 05. So... eventually, these things all do come to an end, but I never thought it would end with Brothers in Arms. I know it's Annette's favorite record. And, of course, the Van Halen series. Best versions of the Van Halens you can get. All right, we'll do the ultrasonically clean stuff, and then we're gonna let you guys go because we're all getting
hungry. Whip through these fast. Zep 2 for $40.
So these are originals that we have ultrasonically cleaned. I mean, if you guys watch the show, you know that we pull the gems out and we'll get them cleaned and ready for you. I got Zappa. We're only in it for the money on the original label, $30.
Wow. Sticky Fingers with the zipper.
I think it's a first press zipper cover.
$60.
Doors, Other Voices, original label, $15 on that.
Who is this? Oh, Gentle Giants. I couldn't even read that. Gentle Giants. It is Acquiring the Taste.
Just watch the zipper. You don't want that to scratch the record.
This is $60 as well.
Mother of Invention. Freak Out. Again, on the Verve. Covers are VG on these, but the records are perfect.
Dylan's Greatest Hits, $20.
Deep Purple Stormbringer, $15. Credence,
CCR, Willie the Poor Boys, $20.
Crosby, Stills, Nash, CSN, $15.
I've seen this one before. Raiders Collage, and it is $12. This is Columbia 360 sound as well.
Dr. Hook, Revisited, $15.
The Doors at $30.
Crosby, Stills, Nash, Deja Vu with the original textured cover, only $20. Oh, You're done? I got a few more. How about...
You can do them all.
Here's Zappa. Overnight Sensation. $25.
Might as well show this Zappa as long as we're talking Zappa.
Yep.
Zoot Allures. $20.
How about Bongo Fury for $30? If you're looking for clean Zappa records, we got them in right now.
The Chicago at $12.
Frank Zappa and the Mothers of Invention Transparency. This is an import from Great Britain. It's got the cool Great Britain verb label on there. And the last one on the show today is the CTA, the first Chicago record 2LP. Only $20. So,
do you want to show that or not?
No, we'll show it on the show. But
Here's those.
there you go, guys. That's a lot of information. That was a great show.
Yeah.
That was a good show. We'll put that together.
We'll put Derek down for that
Vitamin
BSQ.
String.
If anybody else wants one, give the store a call. Or, because we'll be off here pretty soon. We'll see the message.
If you see anything you want or you want to put dibs on, give us a call. We're here all day today. 815-226-1259.
TotalOnline.com.
The new stuff is going to be already on the website. So if you want to order online, that's fine too.
Or you can call.
Or you can call us. We'll take care of you either way.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks so much for watching, guys. Good luck out there hunting and happy listening.
See you next week.